Money is not what makes me joyful. What makes me joyful is having Jesus on the inside of me. It's going to make sense. Here we go. Now he's going to give you the argument as to why. Here we go. For I have to be in whatever circumstances I am. In other words, he says, read this part, come on everybody, here's what he's saying. If you're going to be content, you got to learn it. It don't just happen automatically. You got to learn it. You don't just show up to church and you become content. He says it's a principle you got to learn over time. He says, I've learned to be what? Content. The word content means I am self-sufficient. What's on the inside of me is enough to give me the joy I need. It does not matter what's happening on the outside. I am still joyful on the inside because my joy does not come from happenings. It comes from Jesus being inside of me. Let me help you out a little more. He says, it doesn't matter my marital situation. I don't get joy from my spouse. I get joy from Jesus. So I can handle a difficult situation in my marriage because Jesus is the treasure I seek and from which I get all my joy. Watch the text. It gets better. Next verse, verse 12. Here it is now. Watch it. Read it slowly. Here we go. I know how to get along with humble means, and I also know how to live. Stop right there. Here's what he said. He said, don't get it twisted. When I'm broke, I can still be joyful. What's the other one now? When I'm filthy rich, I can still be joyful. Don't miss what he's saying. He's saying the two enemies of contentment, don't miss this. The two enemies of contentment is riches and poverty. In other words, he says, when you get poor, you say, God, why would you allow this to happen to me? Paul says, it's not going to trip me up. He says, but when I have a lot of money, I know my joy don't come from the money. My joy comes from Jesus. So I'm not going to let the stuff that he blesses me control me because that's not where my joy comes from. Collin County, watch out. Here's what he's saying to all of you in the burbs. Don't let the money fool you. That is not where you get your joy from. Your joy comes from Jesus. So God, if you take it all away, please don't, but I'm still good. So be like, please, Lord, please don't, please. In the name, I claim that you don't, George, please. Here we go, watch what he said. Don't miss it. What he said. In any and every circumstance, I have stop right there. So that means it's a secret. That means everybody don't know it. That means you can have people who come to church every Sunday and they still don't know the secret of contentment. It means you can have people come to church, be in a difficult marriage, don't know the secret to contentment, which is why they take all their hope, their dreams, and their desires and get a divorce. Because they think the secret to contentment is found in the right spouse. That's why you got singles who are not married yet, who mad at God because they're not married yet, and now they think, well, God, why would you allow me to do this? Why you haven't given me my mate yet? And now you mad at God because you don't have contentment, because you think contentment comes from having a person in your life. The devil is a liar. Look at the person next to you and say, the devil is a liar. Look at the other one and say, ain't no truth in him. Watch what happens next. It's a secret. Here's what he says next. Read it with me. I have learned the secret of being filled and going. Stop right there. Paul says, I heard all kind of cries from my belly, but that didn't determine my joy. He says, I remember when I've eaten so much I couldn't take any more. But that's not what determines my joy. I can live in both situations. That does not determine how I feel on the inside. He continues. Watch what he says next. Both of having That's not everybody. Come on, everybody. Say it again. Both of having abundance and suffering. In other words, he says, when I am in very difficult situation and I'm in pain, that still can't take my joy. When he continues, when I have all kinds of abundance and I have more than I need and I can invite everybody over and have a feast, he says, my joy is not in inviting everybody over and having a feast. My joy is in knowing Jesus is inside of me and I can face whatever storm because he's there. Watch the last verse now. Here we go. Last verse, then I'm done. Here we go. Here's what he says. The most misunderstood verse in the Bible, the most misquoted verse in the Bible. Here it is. Read it with me, please. I can do. Stop right there. What the heck does the all things mean? It's related to contentment. Not to the job you want, but the contentment. You ever see the dudes? I mean, they got 18 packs, not 6, 18. And they have on the shirt, I can do all things. The shirt ripped up, and because their muscles so big. That's a misapplication of the word of God. He can help you, but that's not the text to use to get there. What does he say? I can do, say it with me, all things. Let me give it a context. When you're going through a difficult marriage, he says, what you've done so far, you've done by yourself. When it gets real hard, that's where you say, I can do all things, not by my strength, but through him who strengthens me. So you don't run for divorce when it gets hard. Now God said, if you will just let me take over, I will show you things you have never seen before. But he says, you got to realize it's not by might nor by power that's going to happen. It's by the Spirit of the living God. So instead of taking your little hopes, dreams, and desires and say, I'm going to give it to somebody else, when you give it to that person, 78% likely to get a divorce, he says, why don't you suffer a little bit and watch what I can do if you just let me do what I do. That's enough. Sit down. We have a far way to go today. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. This is called a pre-decision. Somebody say that word. It's a brand new word. Say with me, a pre-decision. That's not everybody saying, oh God, help them today, God. It's called a pre-decision. Good, 2 more times. The word I'm going to teach you today is called a pre-decision. In other words, before Paul met the fork in the road called the jailhouse, before Paul met the shipwreck, before Paul met the drama that he had to experience, he made a decision. It was a pre-decision. It made it before the drama showed up. And he said, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. So that means when he gets to the fork in the road of the difficult situation, he already made up his mind that he can do all things to him who strengthens him. So he's already decided, I'm not giving up. I'm not going back. I am pressing forward. That's why when he's in jail, he says, you can contain me, but you can't contain the gospel. That's why he says, hey man, for me to live is Christ. Although you better kill me, but just know if you kill me, I'm going to be with him. So either way, it does not matter. My joy doesn't depend on what you do to me. I have joy regardless of what you do to me. And what we have today is too many Christians that don't know the truth of that word, so you walk around grumbling, cussing, and fussing as if you have no God. Which means you're acting just like the pagans who have no God. So here we go now. Let's see if we can walk through this together. I want to show you what the culture expects of you and what the culture is trying to teach you with reference to what you do externally and what you do internally. Here's the statement. None of this is in your notes. He's saying there is a doctrine of man, an anthropology, that is forced on us through the culture, that externally I am a consumer and internally I am a victim. Let me read that again. The culture wants to convince you that all you must do is want more and more and more and more and more, and that's why what you bought last week is not satisfying you enough, so you're going to buy something else this week, and that's why Amazon show up on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, because you just want more. That's what the culture wants. And then when something goes wrong inside of you, the culture says, it's their fault. And the culture wants you to blame everybody else and not take responsibility yourself. The culture wants you to say, well, you stealing my joy, and you stealing my joy, and you stealing my joy. And the Bible wants to remind you, ain't nobody can steal your joy. Not if you have Jesus on the inside. So let me see if I can lay it out for us now. I want you to watch it. Here's what we say. What's the mindset of happiness? What's the mindset of joy? How do you know when you're walking in it and you have a mindset for it and nobody can steal it? 3 words. None of this is in your notes, by the way. 3 words. Number 1, accountability. Number 2, eliminate entitlement, which is the sin of our entire culture. And number 3, be kind. Watch it. Accountability says it's always my fault. I created an environment. I could have created a better environment. I could have created better expectations. I could have selected better. I could have done it all, but I did not. And so something is not working. I'm not going to blame anybody else and say, you making me miserable. No, you're not. It was I could have done something different to create a different environment. Number 2, second thought is eliminate entitlement. Ain't nobody owe you nothing. Not a doggone thing do they owe you. Every 1st and every 15th, they settle accounts with you, and nobody owes you. Well, they don't want to pay me what I want. You signed on the dotted line, and you said you'd work for that amount of money. So don't fuss and cuss now that you think you deserve a raise because Johnny and Rilo got a raise. You think you need a raise. And no, you need a new job. Go get you a new job that will pay you the money you think you're worth, but don't stay there and complain about what they're giving you. Nobody owes you nothing. Why? Because God says, I have given you everything you need for the situation you're in right now. Everything you need. I'm coming back to that in a minute. And then the last one says, be kind. What does that mean? Walk in the shoes of the other person. Think about it from their perspective. If you do those, here's what you just did. You removed anybody from being accountable, from them causing you not to have joy. You have removed anybody and yourself from the entitlement where somebody owes you. Nobody owes me nothing, so I can't blame anybody. And when you're in a conflict with somebody, because you're thinking about it from their perspective and in their shoes, you can be kind. Nobody can control you because God has given you everything you need for life and godliness. I'm trying to help somebody today. Watch this now. Now, in order for you to be content, there's a theological concept that you must learn in order to be content. But most Christians don't know the concept, or if they know it, they don't live like they know it. Here's the concept. It's called the doctrine of providence. The providence, here's what it means. Oh, this is good. God arranging things beforehand for fulfillment of his purposes. Let me tell you some theology today. What God says is, whatever shows up in your life, either he has caused it or he has allowed it. Either one, he's prepared you for it. Let me say that again. If you know Jesus, whatever happened, good, bad, indifferent, horrific, God has either, listen to me, God has either allowed it or he's caused it, but either way, he's prepared you for it. No matter what it is, no matter what it is. He says, I have given you everything you need for life and for godliness. Therefore, no matter the storm, I've prepared you for it. Now, the problem is that we have too many Christians that want to see Jesus as Savior, but not as Lord. They want him to get them for him to get them to heaven, but when he wants to live his life through you say, God, I got to stop somewhere. You want too much. Therefore, that is why you can't learn contentment. Because you reject the providential will of God. That he will arrange some stuff to happen, not for your glory, but for his. So now we got too many marriages where God's trying to set up your neighbors so they can see what happens when difficult times come knocking on somebody's door, and you still fight for your marriage so that when they go through it, they can fight for theirs because they saw you go through what you went through. The problem, however, is when you show up and drama come knocking, you want to take your dreams, your hopes, and your desires and leave and say deuces and say goodbye. I want to have nothing to do with you. And you miss the fact that God was setting you up for his purposes here on planet Earth. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't know providence, you will not know contentment. The more you know providence, the more content you are. Because you don't have a God that's surprised by what happened to you. You don't have a God that's shocked. I can't believe that passed through. That's not the God you serve. You serve a God that's sovereignly in control of everything that happens. And since you do, you need to know he has the confidence that he's equipped you to deal with whatever it is that you go through. In light of that now, I want to teach you, that's all preamble to where I'm really going. So the sermon starts now. Here we go. In light of that, I want to teach you a simple concept that I think will yield profound results in your life. The higher up you go, meaning the more influence you have, meaning the more responsibility you have, the more decisions you will have to make. The more decisions you, listen, whatever you're doing, stop right now and just listen to this. The more decisions you have to make, the less effective you are at making good quality decisions because you have so many of them. So now you just want things to get off your plate. And so if you're not careful, you will start making poor decisions because the number of decisions, the sheer number has escalated so high, you're trying to get things done quicker than ever, and you'll start making stupid decisions. I wish I had a witness. Watch it. Let me say it again. I don't want you to miss it. The higher up you go organizationally, God keep blessing you, expanding your territory, God bless you with more kids, whatever. The more higher up you go, the more responsibility you have, listen, the more decisions you have to make. The more decisions you have to make, the less quality of decisions you actually do make. Therefore, how do you fight against that principle in your life? The way you fight against it is with something called a pre-decision. In other words, the more decisions you make early, when you actually meet the fork in the road, the decision's already made, so you know what to do. But there are too many people that don't make pre-decisions, and so as decisions come to your face, you got to make them quickly, and oftentimes you make bad choices. Not you, we make bad choices because of the sheer amount and volume of decisions that you have to make. So let me give you in your notes so you don't forget it. Here's what it looks like. First of all, what we're saying in the notes is, when it comes to decision making, you've got these decisions you have to make. And so flip it for me and say, nope. Okay, let me help him out. Let me go to it myself. There are three principles of pre-decision. Number one, the greatest enemy of making quality decisions is making too many decisions. The greatest enemy of making quality decisions is making too many decisions. In light of that, as the quantity of your decisions increase, listen, the quality of your decisions decrease. Do y'all get that? As you get more decisions to make, then the quality of those decisions decreases, which is where smart people make stupid choices. You've seen rich people make dumb choices. You've seen intellectuals make stupid choices. You've seen poor people make dumb choices. You've seen us do it all. Why? The more decisions you have, the more. So therefore, watch me now, you will decide now what you will do later. Woo! You will decide now what you will do later. Yeah, I know I'm going to have some choices to make. Let me just make some now. That I'm deciding now what I'm going to do when I cross that fork in the road. And then lastly, when your values are clear, your decisions are easy. When you know what you're living for, your decisions will be easy. Say it again. When you know your why, your decisions are much, okay, you're looking at me like, what the heck is he talking about? Let me give you two of them. Oh, help me, Holy Spirit, today. Early on in our marriage, we made a decision. We're going to live on one income, not two. We're going to live on one. And by the way, we're going to live on the lower of the two incomes. That's what we decided. We still do it today. We're going to live on one income. We're not living on two. I don't care what Mary Jane has. I don't care what Rilo has. I don't care what Nene has. We're living on one income. Now, when you marry a strong sister, the problem with marrying a strong sister is it's a little harder to inspire and lead. Oh, she's in the service too. So the challenge becomes, you want to make this pre-decision, let's live off of one income. She's making a lot of money back then, 23 years ago, and I'm making a little bit of money, and I said, we're living off of my income, not yours. Now, the problem with that is, when all the sisters' friends are getting whatever they want, and this little dude just got off the boat from Jamaica, is making some decisions for you. You weren't even sure you should have married him. and then you decide to, and then now he come up with this crazy plan that you need to live off a pauper's budget and not yours. That's exactly what we did. All that meant was when everybody was getting houses, we were in a one-bedroom apartment. When everybody was getting fancy cars, we had a car. Stop laughing. We had a car without AC. A car. We had a machine without AC in the summer of Texas. But it's all because I knew I'm making a pre-decision, because here's what I know. God's called me to provide for the house. If I'm going to provide for it, then I got to provide for it. And if you don't have a job, I still need to provide for it. No, I got to make some decisions now so that financial stress doesn't plague our house. So therefore I said, yeah, that's what we're going to do. So she kicked and she screamed. She didn't kick me, but she kicked and she screamed. And then the Lord showed up. 6 months later, she lost her job. And then she called me her Lord. She's never done that before in her whole life. But no, I got all the honor in the world because I was the wisest man she's ever met. Now, listen. So now she lost her little lucrative job, and now we were fine because we didn't need her lucrative job to survive. What's that called? A pre-decision. A pre-decision. Why? We do it today. We do it to this day. We still do the exact same thing. A pre-decision. So we're not living off of two people. We're living off of one. And then somebody in the last service came up to me and said, well, what you do with the rest of it if both people work? Now you can save for a rainy day. Now you can give when God says you should give. Now you can bless other people when God says you should bless other people. Now you have the freedom to not live based on the debt that you owe somebody else. I'm just trying to help somebody today. Let me get another one. Let's get out of money. Let me get another one. I made a pre-decision early in life before we started this church. I only leave twice a year to go preach at somebody else's church. That's it. One is going to be a small church under 100 so that my heart will always remember what it's like to be a pastor fighting for a small group of people. And then a big church where somebody came to our church and poured into our church, and I owe them. So there's some pastors that's called me for 4 years, and I'm not going to their church because it's stacked up and it's lined up. So I don't know where I'm going in the next 5 years because I got to go bless another church who their pastor came to us. Here's my point. It's a pre-decision. Why? So that when everybody wants me to come today, I don't have to go. because I made a decision already. I'm only going to 2 churches per year. The rest of the time, if you don't see me here, I'm kicking it with my kids because they don't have me on the weekends because I'm with y'all. And so, if I'm going to fight for my family, I got to make sure I ain't on everybody's pulpit smelling stuff. I ain't on everybody's pulpit smelling like jet fuel and not like sheep. Don't miss it. Don't miss that. You're still a shepherd. You should smell like sheep, not like jet fuel. Can I get a witness, somebody? Here's all I'm trying to say. What was that? Hold on. What was that? That was a pre-decision. I promise you this is going to make sense. There's so many of you that are not making pre-decisions, and you wait till it's in front of you. There's, oh my God, what should we do? What should we do? Okay, let's do this time. Let's do this time. And then all of a sudden your family never sees you. And you wonder, where has all the time gone? It's because you didn't think long enough about what matters most and make good pre-decisions so that it benefits you when you have increased responsibility and more people want a piece of you. You have already made the decision. Here's what I'm going to do no matter who comes calling. Can I get a witness? Somebody. So here we go now. Here we go. So, in order to know what pre-decisions you should make, you have some values that you got to come up with. So what are the values that you got to come up with? That's why I'm giving you, because this concept is so profound. That's why you get this book today, so everybody gets it. How do you come up with your values? Here we go. The values are come up, 8 questions to help you start processing. It's on the back side of your page, on the right-hand side. Here we go. Question 1. What qualities do you admire most in others? Helps you get to your values, what matters most. Second one, do you want to invest in experiences or things? Next question, what are your priority relationships? For some people, it's their kids, not their spouse. How do you know that you're living this out? Here's another one. How will you invest in your relationships? You invested in your spouse while you were dating them, and you invest in your job afterwards. How are you investing in your relationship with your spouse? Next 4. Here we go. Number 5 says, how important is Matthew 6:33 in your life? Some of you want your kids to sing on stage and you never serve. Because really, only your kids need Jesus. You don't need him no more. And so some of you, you'll get all your kids, oh yeah, I only come to church for my kids. I really don't need nothing. And you think you can tell them to go do something and you live differently. And God says, seek ye first my kingdom, and yet still I have to beg you to serve. And he says it, it's not a suggestion, it's a command. Seek ye first his kingdom. And yet some of you still have never served, and you got hurt, so you don't want to serve no more because you got hurt. And God didn't say, if you've never been hurt, seek ye first. He says, whether hurt or not, make sure you're prioritizing my kingdom over yours. And yet still I got to beg most of y'all to serve. And I'm like, are you kidding me? What kind of church is this? That I got to beg you to serve? You come every week and you get, and you eat, and you get, and you get, and somebody still got to beg you to serve? Somebody's serving while you can get to come in here and then go back out. Somebody had to print them things on the print shop. Somebody had to design it. Somebody had to come up with a content for it. All so that you can go on your little retreat and go, what should we do in your little sophisticated gated communities? And yesterday say, well, God, you're secondary. I will call on you when I need you. He says, seek ye first. So if you say you value God's kingdom, then show up in your life and make sure you do. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Here we go. Number 6, is holiness and purity central or peripheral to your walk with God? Here's the next one. What is love in one word? Here's the last one. When others talk about you, what do you want them to say? Why am I asking these questions? I'm wrestling with them, we're having a discussion with them because we want to know what we value the most. When we know what we value the most, now we can make pre-decisions. Now, the sermon starts right now. Let me give you 12 pre-decisions that we're going to live out. Here are 12 pre-decisions that I think every couple should make because they're all theological and they're all biblical. So here we go, let's talk through them right now. Number 1, first one, listen to their heart, not their words. Pre-decision. What are we known for? We know that we have, sometimes when we're passionate, and as Pastor Matt said last week, when we get frustrated, we have a little attitude with it. Our face contorts a little bit. We get a little frustrated a little bit. Some of us turn our necks a little bit. Some of us wave our fingers a little bit. And sometimes you can allow the tone or the attitude to make you miss the pain in the heart. Your job is to not look at how they're saying it. Your job is to look at the pain in the heart. It's a pre-decision. Now, let me clarify something before I go any further, because somebody going to take this and do something that they're not supposed to do. But whenever I preach up here, it is not for you to weaponize it against your spouse. Some of you love to work. You're driving home today, and you have a bad attitude. Well, I can't believe, and you say, hey, you remember, and you. But pastor said you shouldn't talk to me like that. No. The application is for you. The application is for you. You must learn to not look at the tone and the attitude, but to hear the pain of the heart. I'm pleading with you. A couple weeks ago, one of our members is now the highest ranking officer of the law in this part of Collin County, and he had a ceremony where I went to, and I had to do the benediction, and I was honored to do it. And in his speech, when he accepted the position, he said, hey man, Pastor, I just want to thank you, because I remember one sermon you did, and it really pierced my heart, and he waxed eloquently. And in my mind, I'm sitting in the sermon, and I'm thinking, only one sermon pierced your heart? You've been here a minute and only one. So, when it was my turn, I was supposed to do the benediction. And I went up there and I just had to ask the question. I said, hey man, I apologize that only one sermon has pricked your heart. I just hope that in the future I will study a little harder. And, everybody's laughing. As everybody's laughing, the judge in charge said, excuse me, sir, can you go along with your assignment? So in my mind, I didn't say, there's a judge here, he can lock you up. In my mind, I said, first of all, you don't talk to men of the cloth like that. I didn't say this out loud. Yeah, that's not how you talk to men of the cloth. And then number two, I said, that was rude. And what I could have done is I could have focused on how he had offended me, not knowing the reason and the heart behind what he said. We had already been over. He was just reminding me that they all had a dinner to go to, and they were late for the dinner that they had to go to. Now, if I was in my feelings, as many of us are oftentimes, then we must, you know what? I don't know what they do in your church, but in my church, do you see what I'm saying? You see how you can easily be a fool? Because you didn't think of the man's pain before you looked at his actions. And so all I had to do is, I remember, okay, cool. My apologies, Judge. And then I went to my prayer. That's all I was supposed to do up there anyways. Waxing eloquently, trying to make people laugh, trying to be funny. The joker said, pray. That's it. Some of you, if you're in my position, it ain't necessary. Hear their pain and respond appropriately. Is that all right, everybody? Come on, let's go. Number two. Come on. Number two, resolve negatively daily. Don't let stuff fester over time. Resolve it daily. Somebody say daily. All right? Here's what some of you do. Some of you be like, okay, you honor your boss more than you honor me. What's up with that? Why you go downtown and you want to honor him and speak well of him and serve him, but you come home and you treat me like chopped liver. Your poor spending habits. Why can't you learn to spend money better? Why are you always trying to drive this house broke? Here's another one. You make light of my story. I was sharing my heart for an hour and you had to go back to the game. There's another one. You lie. You're nothing but a liar. You lie. I can't stand you because you lie. And then there's another one. You correct me in public. How disrespectful is that? I'm trying to serve the people, and I say, you better come home now. You've just treated me like crap. And here's the last one. That's, you called my ex. No, you didn't. You called my ex. And then what some of you do is you just store it. And then 8 years later, during a separate conversation, you pull one out. I don't even know which one I'm going to pull out. You ain't nothing but a liar. You lied to me again. You lied to me on January 8th in 2016. What's wrong with you? Make a pre-decision. What's the Bible say? Deal with it tonight before you go to bed, or set a time when you're going to deal with it in the future. But what we have is people holding records of wrong and at the appropriate time pulling it out and complaining about what they're doing later. What God says is, no, that's not what I want you to do. What I want you to do is every single day. Every day. Somebody say every day. Every day, I want you, ladies and gentlemen, to every night before you go to bed, make sure you deal with it so that nothing is in there anymore. Don't worry. Don't worry. Pastor Luke used to do magic, so he came up with a little... I ain't coming up with that. That's Pastor Luke. Y'all know that. Coach Rubin. Number 3. Come on, I gotta go. Number three. Here we go. Make your marriage a submission competition. It's a pre-decision. I'm making this decision before we get to the fork in the road. What are we supposed to do? It's supposed to be a race to the back of the line. What does that mean? That means I'm going to outserve you. I'm not looking for you to serve me. I'm going to say you before me. You before me every time. I'm going to race to the back. No. I want you to go first, please. No. I want you to go first. If you don't do that, here's what's going to happen. The 4 we's that destroys marriages. 1, you're going to leave. We leave. What are you going to do? I'm going to take my hopes, dreams, and desires, and I'm going to take them somewhere else. Number 2, what are you going to do? We win. That means somebody's going to say, I'm going to win, and you're going to become who I need you to become, or else I'm gone. And you're going to coerce them. You're going to force them to become somebody else that they don't even like. Not like Jesus, like you want them to become. Number 3, you're going to conform so that you're going to become who they want you to be. And then number 4, you're going to have a compromise. Oh yeah, well, when I do my part and you do your part, I'll do my part, you do your part. That's not what God desires for man. I'm going to give all of me, expect nothing in return. If you don't do that, if you want to not do any of these 4, then you have to have a submission competition where it's a race to the back of the line where I get to serve you. Number 4, come on quickly. Number 4 says, I will seek to satisfy my spouse intimacy needs regularly. I will seek to satisfy my spouse's needs sexually, intimacy-wise, regularly. Now, let me help you out. Fellas, let me help you out. There's 6 phases of intimacy. You thought there were only 1. There's 6. Ladies, don't say a word right now. Number 1 is there's emotional intimacy. There's intellectual intimacy. She just wants to talk. And she just wants to enjoy the intellectual rigor of hearing how you think about the things. You say, oh, I'm closing my eyes. How the things you think about. I just want you to stimulate me intellectually. Ladies, don't say amen right now. I'm trying to help you. I am. Next one. Spiritually. She don't want to always have to lead the family to church. She wants you to lead the family to church. She wants you to lead them in devotions every morning. That's what she wants. She wants relational connection. She wants financial connection. You want physical connection. No, here's the secret I'm going to tell you. Want a secret? If you meet her emotional needs, her intellectual needs, her spiritual needs, her relational needs, and her financial needs, bro, come here, bro. I promise you, she will beat you home every single day. And you will go home and she'll be surprised. And I could go further, but I'm going to stop right there. She's going to say, hey, the kid's not home yet. Hey! Hey! I'm not looking over here. You notice that? I don't know what she's saying or doing over there, but I ain't looking. Come on, we gotta go. Next one. Leave that alone. Number five. I did this already. We will live off of 60% of one person's income. Why? To create margin. Why? So when God creates opportunities, you can take advantage of them. Make sense? By the way, we do the same thing with our church. We don't live off of everything we get in. Why? Right now, as we speak right now, we're trying to buy the movie theater over there off of 75 and El Dorado. And we're trying to buy it. You know what? It costs $6 million. Can you imagine if I were to come to you and say, hey guys, here's a great opportunity, but we need $6 million. Can you please give it? You'd be like, I need $6 million too. That makes sense, everybody? Oh, so what do you have to do? You don't live at the margin, so you can say it. So when an opportunity like that comes up, you can say, God, is this you or is this us? And if he says, this is me, then you can take advantage of it. But I can't ask you today when it's showing up tomorrow. Or you would say, no, sir, that's irresponsibility. That's why you live with margin. So when God opens doors, you can take advantage of it. Can I get a witness? Somebody. Here we go. Next one. Number 6. Number 6 says that we will reach out for help before a crisis. Now, somebody listen to me. You wait too long. You wait till you can't stand the person no more. And you should have come for help way before then. By that time, criticism is normal, defensiveness is normal, stonewalling is normal, contempt. You calling them names in your mind. And sometimes it comes out, and all of a sudden you say, I can't stand a bone in your pot. Once you get there, it's almost too late. You must get help before it gets there. Don't wait till it's in the gutter before you get there. That's why, and by the way, fellas, I'm talking to you. You need to get help before you get there. Because you be like, I don't need nobody's help. Ain't no man can tell me nothing. He struggled like me. Of course, every man struggles. Every woman struggles too. The Apostle Paul struggled. So all God's children struggle. But that don't mean you don't go get help when you struggle. Therefore, fellas, we need to lead the way on this sometimes. All right? But you have to make a pre-decision. We're going to get help before it gets to a crisis. That's your job. Next one. Here we go. These are all pre-decisions. Pray together daily. Pray together out loud daily. Pray together out loud daily. Listen to me. 50% of marriages end in divorce. 78% of second marriages. All of you considering divorce, it don't matter. When you go and get somebody else, you still there. You the constant. So that's why it goes up to 78% of people, second marriages get divorced. Why? Because the same person is there. You didn't change you. You just blame the other person. So guess what you're going to do in the next relationship? Blame the other person too? Because you aren't changing you? Because you think you're the perfect one. Well, let me give you some news. You're not. Don't clap if you're supposed to be beside you. Don't clap. But you need to know that. But here's what you need to know. If you pray out loud together daily, only 1% of that group gets divorced. 1%. Why wouldn't you then? Why? What happens when you pray? When you pray, you get new hope. When you think you can go, you think you can pray with somebody genuinely and nothing good. Lord, I just prayed today. I can't stand you, but I can't stand him. I hate him, God. I hate him. No, you can't go to God like that. And if you do, something wrong with you. Which is why it makes perfect sense. You go so you can be united. You go to prayer so you can be on one accord. So that when you go to God, you're ready to go. That's number 7. Number 8, come on. Number 8 is, that's why you do this vision retreat we're talking about. That's why everybody gets one of these when you go. Why? Because this is proactivity. What are you doing when you do this? You're saying, I want to prepare in advance for what could come up, and let's think about it and talk about it now. How can two walk together unless they agree? So you got to come agree on something so you can move forward. In other words, if you don't do this, you're going to react to situations. If you don't do that, then you're going to be radioactive and you can't talk about anything anymore. Which is why everybody needs a retreat without kids where you get to think about your future. Which is why we're equipping you with the tools today. Number 9, Number 9 says, I love these the most. Watch this now. Number 9. I will have a posture of gratitude. I will have a posture of gratitude. Somebody say gratitude. Somebody else say gratitude. Now, let me show you my landscaping skills a little bit. Everybody knows if you have grass on the outside of your house, you should be doing a pre-treatment right now. What a pre-treatment does is it is preventing you from seeing weeds show up in about 3 to 4 to 5 weeks. So the more pre-treatment you do now, go home and do your little pre-treatment, so that the HOA don't have to call you and report you. The reason this is important is because gratitude is the pre-treatment for entitlement. Let me say that again. The more gracious you are, the less entitled you become. In marriage, it's easy to take your spouse for granted and to think they're supposed to do that. It happens in every single marriage. It doesn't matter. You're supposed to do the dishes. You're supposed to do the laundry. You're supposed to take the car out. You're supposed to go to work. You're supposed to. So that means when your husband comes home, you just be like, oh yeah, you should have been. I'm glad you worked, because if you weren't, I wouldn't be here. Because you're supposed to work. What happens if you shifted that and you say, you know what, every single day, I'm so grateful that you go to work. Thank you for going to work today. I'm working so hard for our family. I really appreciate that. When you go home and there's a plate of food in front of you and the kids are getting ready to eat dinner at the table, hey, sweetie, thank you so much. You didn't have to do this, but I'm grateful that you did. You know why we don't? Watch this now. Because when somebody owes you money and they give it back to you, you're not grateful. That's what you're supposed to do. When it's not a lot of money and somebody gives you $5, you're not that grateful. You just like, thanks. It's not until you feel like they gave you something massive that you feel grateful for it. What happens over time in marriages, single folk, listen to this. What happens over time in marriages is that people ultimately get to the place where they just take everything for granted. And they no longer see it as something that you appreciate and something that's rare. What you need to say to your spouses is, wow, I can't believe you did that. I'm so grateful for it. But they just did it yesterday. I know. But you're training your heart to be and to have a posture of gratitude so you never take them for granted. Because the more you take them for granted, the more you don't think you need them over time. It's subtle, but it's true. Go back home today, and everything you have taken for granted, you tell that person, thank you so much. I am amazed that you keep doing this every single time. Thank you. Oh my gosh, you did the laundry again? Oh my gosh, thank you so much. You didn't have to do it. And they're dried? Oh my gosh. And they're folded? You're laughing, don't you? I promise you, if you increase your gratitude, contentment won't get stuck in your heart. And then you will forever be appreciative of the blessing God has given to you. The reason you don't appreciate it and you're looking everywhere else is because you've become entitled and used to what they do every single time. Can I get a witness? Somebody. Here's what it says. Fully engage in kingdom or calling together. God's called you together. He called you for a marriage. Jada mentioned this. He called you for a marriage bigger than just your kids. It's for his kingdom. It's for his glory. And yet still all you're doing is all wrapped up in your kids and nobody else. If God came and said, what did you do with my kingdom? You have nothing to say because you ain't never served. You ain't never given for something bigger than yourself. He continues, next one, number 11. Here's what it says. Number 11 says, watch, the commitment to the person and not to your marriage. This is huge. The commitment to, somebody say, the person. It is very easy in marriage. Ooh, this is a whole sermon by itself. It's very easy in marriage to think of your marriage, but not your spouse. Now, if you take care of your spouse, you'll take care of the marriage. But some people get stuck in, I'm just, you know what, it's better my kids have a mom and dad, so I ain't gonna leave you, but I really don't like you, but I'm staying here for the marriage, and I'm staying here for the kids, and I'm staying here for their future, and I'm staying here, and you make it all about the entity and not the person. Listen to me, your job is to fall in love afresh every day with the person, not the marriage. You got too many people that married the marriage and didn't marry the person. And the more you marry the marriage, the less you will value the person. We got too many ladies in here that you just want to look good to say you married, but you ain't treating the dude like and give him the respect that he deserves and the honor he deserves, but you're really in it for you and how it makes you look, not for him and serving and honoring him. What's sad is that it's the ladies that are clapping and not the men. I think the men are nervous because I don't have time. Come on, I gotta go. Last one. Watch it now. This is big. When in doubt or submission, assume the best. When expectations does not meet experience, do not assume the worst, but believe the best about the person. Ladies, this is so huge. It's so subtle, but it's so true, and it happens so often in our lives. Assume the best. When you don't know where they are, assume the best. When you don't know what's going on, assume the best. Don't just go negative. Assume the best. And then when you assume the best and they violated that, then you confront. And when you confront and they don't listen, then you bring somebody in before the crisis happens. But you got to assume the best. Make the habit of, by the way, singles, come here to me. This is why you ought to live with some, I promise you, just listen to me, please. This is why you don't stay single until you're 45 by yourself. Get some roommates, I'm begging you. Get some roommates so they can make you mad, so you know how to be compromising, so you know how to not live by yourself, because you've trained yourself to live one way, and then only your way matters, and ultimately you're going to get married and the person can't stand you because you've lived by yourself so long you don't know how to live any other way. I can't even open my eyes and look at you because it happens too much. Does this make sense to you, everybody? All I'm asking you to do is, here it is, in summary. Before the crisis shows up, I want you to make some pre-decisions. That says when we're in the battle, we've already decided how we're going to live. Because when God gives you more, it's going to be very tempting to take some shortcuts. And you can't take them. Because the higher up you go, listen to me, the higher up you go, the more the lights burn you. The more the lights that are on you burn you, the more you're going to take shortcuts and make bad decisions. I'm talking because it's real easy for me to make bad decisions, which is why I have to make pre-decisions to make sure I make the right decisions. The higher up you go, the more hard and the faster they come at you. And if you're not careful, you'll be tempted to take shortcuts. Don't do it. Make pre-decisions. Somebody say pre-decisions. That's not everybody up top didn't say it. Somebody say pre-decisions. Okay, good. All right, before we pray, I'm going to remind you something. You don't get the booklets